Big tech is losing the legal battles. And I thought, what wouldn't be a better way to do it than, just playing some magic while I explain what just happened. So basically, there's a young woman named with her initials KGM that sued Meta and YouTube for designing addictive content. Basically, arguing that the social media giants knew that their content was designed in a way that is addictive, but they didn't do anything about it, and they allowed her addiction to, fester. And in another blow, the legal ruling was actually that Meta, in particular, will have to pay 375 million. And that is because the safety of its platforms is compromised. There were features that enabled the P words and the P other words that do bad things to children to basically do what they want and engage in bad behavior. And so I figured I would share some of my thoughts about this. And really, I think it's like a little bit of a snowball effect because everybody is like, well, shit, these people, they are not, not so invincible anymore. And as Trump kind of chills out with regards to, these things, it gets more and more obvious that the regulators might push ahead and actually limit social media access to children. Now, I'll share with you my experience of it. When I was young, I really, really, really did not like social media. But I was also quite a bit of an outsider. So after a lot of convincing in 7th grade or something, one of my friends convinced me to finally install Facebook. And so I did. Now I installed Facebook. And then what led from Facebook was to use Instagram. And I was not addicted. I wouldn't say I was. But it was quite the adventure because I would keep track. I would keep track who's my friend, who isn't my friend, who would unfollow me, who would follow me on Instagram in particular. And it was really kind of weighing on me. So I figured, okay, I need to figure out a way to combat this. Because it won't be so simple. And so I uninstalled Instagram. And I figured, well, fuck this shit. I'm wondering what I should do. That guy's probably impatient. I think I need some boards. I need to deal with that guy. Okay, let's put this. So I installed Instagram and I was always very much against what had been happening, all this social media stuff, because I felt like we were out of touch with the world. And I felt like it was really quite addicting just looking at reels all day, looking at random things you don't really need, when you probably could be just focusing on yourself, just looking within. But you look outside, and anything that looks outside is very unstable, in my humble opinion. Because you only depend on basically things that are, I won't say outside of your control, but you depend on external validation. Now, can you kill me? Maybe, but I'll let it go. And obviously the problem with that is it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. And you would just become a prisoner in your own world, in your own life, And obviously you don't want that. Actually, maybe I should have played this, and then this would have cost. I don't have enough mana. Anyways, so this ruling today is quite sets quite a precedent. It's like a legal precedent. You know, it's one of those. How did you call it? There was a specific word that describes like rulings that would make future rulings. You know, kind of take from that case, and the arguments there, right? So it's quite a change. It's quite a change. And no one really knows what will happen. But I suspect you're not only attack with that. Okay. I can't behold a dragon. I can behold a dragon, actually. I will behold a dragon. Yes. He might have buffs, which is good, because then I can see what he's doing. So it's probably we need to defend children, because children, they don't know what they're doing. Unfortunately. And it's not enough to just have good parents. It's also pretty important to have... I don't have much to tap. I think I should save this for sometime later. This is difficult. I'll attack with this. Maybe I could have also attacked with that, but I figured no. I'll play her. Maybe it's a mistake, but who knows? Well, that still gives her buffs. I will create a spirit. So, listen, it's very much a very difficult world to be in, you know, as a child, as anybody, really. Because you don't know what's out there. There's a lot of bad people out there that have access to everything, basically. Like, they can do whatever they want. That is obviously very scary. And I don't think anyone really wants that. You know, like you know, your children just looking at random fucking shit. Okay. This guy is putting himself in a danger zone, basically. And so, this is probably for the best. I know I'm on YouTube. I know I really like YouTube. But I think children, they cannot control themselves as well. Like in some cases, maybe they could, but I think in most cases they couldn't. And I don't know if YouTube is designed to be addictive, and to some extent it is, especially when people just consume it for the sake of consuming it. But there really is a world, I will block that. There really is a world where we need to think about you know, what's actually good for us. As people, and what's, you know, best for society. It definitely isn't children like watching harmful content. It isn't children, oh, I forgot about that guy having reach. Well, that's sad. Anyways, we have a lot of problems. And that would just make the problems deeper, you know? Really, it would just make our problems a lot deeper. And we don't want that. So the way to solve it would be to regulate. Because why is regulation important? It's not important for the reasons you might think. The problem is that there are negative externalities. Usually you have a market, right? You have a market and the market gets... It's perfect, right? It allocates everything efficiently. There's a market for everything. If somebody wants something, they'll get it, yada, 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 yada. I think that increasingly people are seeing that it's not that simple. Might not attack with this guy. Or is he going to react? He has some very weak units. So, anyways. It's not worth it. People find out that we need regulation. We need government intervention because the market is not enough, and there's more to the world than market and just growth. And because obviously there will be growth if children are also consumers, they will increase growth. But children are not the most fitting consumers as we might think, because, well, those people, they are early in their formative years. They don't know what to consume or how to consume it. I would love to say all children are incredibly capable of knowing exactly what they want and having perfect information, but that is not how the world works. He's gonna kill it. Okay. I don't have enough mana. It's not how the world works. That's why we have like institutions and stuff to fight that. But that was my rant basically. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing what's happening, and maybe it will become even better.